Hello everyone. We'll start in another like 2-3 minutes. Let everyone join. Like at least by like 10 people join, we'll start. Because otherwise, we'll have to keep on letting people in while we read. Okay. Yeah, by the time we finish an introduction, I think everyone will join. So we stopped till Act 2, Scene 3 last time of the play School for Scandal. So we'll continue the same today also. So I would like to introduce our team once again to you, a very beautiful team. Everyone who reads with a lot of emotions, like whenever we listen to it, we feel like everyone are really gossiping and arguing and all that. It was really nice last time. So this time also hope really interesting to you all. So we have Denver Fernandez as Peter Teasel, Hasina as Lady Teasel, Anand as Sir Oliver Surface, Anulakshmi as Joseph Surface, Arya as Charles Surface, Maria Sahitya, then Grishma playing the role of Lady Sneerwell, then Varna as Careless, Rowley Prasanna, Arya playing the role of Sneak, Sahitya MS playing the role of Trip, Mrs. Candor by Varna, Crabtree by Malu, and Moses by Jisha. So, I hope I'm audible to you. Just give me a hi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, I'll press in the screen right now and we'll start.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I'm not able to present my screen, or am I presenting my screen to you? No, right?
No.
No, yeah. Because I'm live streaming today because I didn't want to upload it again, so I just tried live streaming today. But then my present screen option is not there. Okay, I'll just leave the call and join again. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible now. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we read till Act 2, Scene 2 last time. So today we have to begin Act 2, Scene 3. Scene 3. Sir Peter Teasel's house. Enter Oliver Surface and Rowley.
മാം സ്ക്രീൻ ഒന്ന് എൻലാർജ് ചെയ്യണേ.
Okay. My computer is a little slow these days. That's why last class also my recording failed. I'll do something about it. Yeah. Yeah, Sir Oliver. Anand is not there, so I'll read the role of Sir Oliver as well. Haha, so my old friend is married, hey? A young wife out of the country. That he should have stood bluff to old bachelors so long and sink into a husband at last.
But you must not rally him on the subject, Sir Oliver. This a tender point, I assure you, though he has been married only 7 months.
Then he has been just half a year on the stool of repentance. Poor Peter. But you say he has entirely given up Charles, never sees him, eh?
His prejudice against him is astonishing, and I am sure greatly increased by jealous of him with Lady Teasel, which he has industrious been led into by a scandalous society in the neighborhood, who have contributed not a little to Charles' ill name, whereas the truth is, I believe if the lady is partly to either of them, his brother is the favorite.
Eh, I know, there are a set of malicious, prating, prudent gossips, both male and female, who murder characters to kill time and will rob a young fellow of his good name before he has years to know the value of it. But I'm not to be prejudiced against my nephew by such, I promise you. No, if Charles has done nothing false or mean, I shall compound for his extravagance.
Then my life and you will reclaim him. Then my life and you will reclaim him. Ah, sir, it gives me new life to find that your heart is not turned against him, and that the son of my good old master has one friend, however, left.
What shall I forget Master Rowley when I was at his years myself? Oh God, my brother and I were neither of us very prudent youths, and yet I believe you've not seen many better men than your old master was.
Sir, this reflection gives me assurance that Charles may yet be a credit to his family. But here comes Sir Peter.
Oh God, so he does. Mercy on me. He is greatly altered and seems to have a settled married look. One may read husband in his face at this instance.
Ah, Sir Oliver, my old friend. Welcome to England 1,000 times.
Thank you, Sir Peter. And in faith, I am as glad to find you well, believe me.
It's long time since we met, 16 years, I doubt, Sir Oliver, and many a cross accident in a time.
Yeah, I have had my share. But what, I find you married, eh? Well, it can't be helped. And so I wish you joy with all my heart.
Thank you, Sir Oliver. Yes, I have entered into the happy state, but we will not talk of that.
True, Sir Peter. Old friends should not begin on grievances at first meeting. No.
Take care, pray, sir.
So one of my nephews is a wild rogue, huh?
Wild. Ah, my old friend, I grieve for your disappointment there. He's a lost young man indeed. However, his brother will make you amends. Joseph is indeed what a youth should be. Everybody in the world speaks well of him.
I'm sorry to hear it. He is too good a character to be an honest fellow. Everyone speaks well of him. Pshaw! Then he is bored as low to knaves and fools as to the honest dignity of genius and virtue.
What, Sir Oliver? Do you blame him for not making any
Yeah, if he has
his
merit enough to deserve them.
well, you will be convinced when you know him. It's edification to hear him converse. He professes the noblest sentiments.
Oh, plague of his sentiments! If he salutes me with a scrap of morality in his mouth, I shall be sick directly. But however, don't mistake me, Sir Peter. I don't mean to defend Charles' errors. But before I form my judgment of either of them, I intend to make a trial of their hearts. And my friend Rowley and I have planned something for the purpose.
And Sir Peter shall own for once he has been mistaken.
Oh, my life on Joseph's humor.
Oh, well, come, give us a bottle of good wine, and we'll drink the lad's health and tell you our scheme.
Alans then.
And don't, Sir Peter, be so severe against your old friend's son. Odds my life, I'm not sorry that he has run out of the course a little. For my part, I hate to see prudence clinging to the green suckers of youth. It's like ivy round a sapling and spoils the growth of the tree. Act 3, Scene 1, Sir Peter Teasel's house.
Well then, we will see this fellow first and have our wine afterwards. But how is this, Master Rowling? I don't see the jet of your scheme.
Why, sir, this Mr. Stanley, who I was speaking of, is nearly related to them by their mother. He was once a merchant in Dublin, but has been ruined by a series of unserved misfortunes. He has applied by letter since his confinement both to Mr. Surface and Charles. From the former, he has received nothing but evasive promises of future service, while Charles has done all that his extravagancy has left him power to do. And he is, at this time, endeavoring to raise a sum of money, part of which, in the midst of his own distresses, I know he intends for the service of poor Stanley.
Ah, he is my brother's
Ah,
son.
he's my brother's son. Well, but how is Sir Oliver personally too?
Why, sir, I will inform Charles and his brother that Stanley has obtained permission to apply personally to his friends, and as they have neither of them ever seen him, let Sir Oliver assume his character, and he will have a fair opportunity of judging at least of the benevolence of their disposition. And believe me, sir, you will find in the youngest brother one who, in the midst of folly and deceptions, has still, as our immortal bard expresses it, a tear for pity and a hand open as day for melting charity.
Sure. What signifies signifies his having an open hand or purse either, when he has nothing left to give? Well, make the trial, if you please. But where is the fellow whom you brought for Sir Oliver to examine, relative to Charles's affairs?
Below, waiting his commands, and no one can give him better intelligence. This Sir Oliver is a friendly Jew who, to do him justice, has done everything in his power to bring your nephew to a proper sense of his extravagance.
Pray let us have him in.
Desire Mr. Moses to walk upstairs.
But why should you suppose he will speak the truth?
But oh, I have convinced him that he has no chance of recovering certain sums advanced to Charles, but though the bounty of Sir Oliver, who he knows has arrived, so that you may depend on his fidelity to his own interest. I have also another evidence in my power, one snake, whom I have detected in a matter little short of forgery, and shall speedily produce him to remove some of your prejudices.
I have heard too much on that subject.
Here comes the honest Israelite. This is Sir Oliver.
Sir, I understand you've lately had great dealings with my nephew Charles.
Yes, Sir Oliver, I have done all I could for him, but he was ruined before he came to me for assistance.
Oh, that was unlucky, truly, for you have had no opportunity of showing your talents.
None at all. I hadn't the pleasure of knowing his distresses till he was some thousands worse than nothing.
Unfortunate indeed, but I suppose you have done all in your power for him, honest Moses.
Yes, he knows that. This very evening I was to have brought him a gentleman from the city who does not know him and will, I believe, advance him some money.
What, one Charles has never had money from before?
Yes, Mr. Premium of Crutched Friars, formerly a broker.
Oh God, Sir Oliver, a thought strikes me. Charles, you say, doesn't know Mr. Premium?
Not at all.
Now then, so Oliver, you may have a better opportunity of satisfying yourself than by an old romancing tale of a poor relation. Go with my friend Moses and represent Miss Premium, and then I'll answer for it. You will see your nephew in all his glory.
Oh God, I like this idea better than the other, and I may visit Joseph afterwards as old Stanley.
True, so you may.
Well, this is taking Charles rather at a disadvantage, to be sure. However, Moses, you understand Sir Peter and will be faithful.
You may depend upon me. This is near the time I was to have gone.
I'll accompany you as soon as you please, Moses. But hold, I have forgot one thing. How the plague shall I be able to pass for a Jew?
There's no need. The principal is Christian.
You see, I'm very sorry to hear it, but then again, ain't I rather too smartly dressed to look like a moneylender?
Not at all. It would not be out of character. If you went in your own carriage, would it, Moses?
Not in the least.
Well, but how much I talk? There is certainly some kind of assury and mode of treating that I ought to know.
Oh, there's not much to learn. The great point, as I take it, is to be extravagant enough in your demands. Hey, Moses?
Yes, that's a very great point.
I'll answer for it. I'll not be wanting in that. I'll ask him 8 or 10% on the loan at least.
If you ask him more than that, you will be discovered immediately.
Hey, what the plague? How much then?
That depends upon the circumstances. If he appears not very anxious for the supply, you should require only 40 or 50%. But if you find him in great distress and wants money very bad, you may ask double.
A good, honest trade
A
you're
good,
learning, Sir
honest
Oliver.
trade.
Truly, I think so, and not unprofitable.
Then you know you haven't the monies yourselves, but are forced to borrow them for him of an old friend.
Oh, I borrow it of a friend, do I?
And your friend is an unconscionable dog, but you can't help it.
My friend is an unconscionable dog, isn't he?
Yes, and he himself has not the money by him, but is forced to sell stock at a great loss.
He is forced to sell stock at a great loss, isn't he? Well, that's very kind of him.
In faith, Sir Oliver, Mr. Premium, I mean, you will soon be master of the trade. But Moses, wouldn't you have him run out a little against the annuity bill? That would be in character, I should think.
Very much.
And lament that a young man now must be at years of discretions before he is suffered to ruin himself.
Aye, great pity.
And abuse the public for allowing merit to an act whose only object is to snatch misfortune and imprudence from the rapacious relief of usury and give the minor a chance of inheriting his estate without being undone by coming into possession.
Okay. Moses shall give me further instructions as we go together.
You will not have much time, for your nephew lives hard by.
Oh, never fear. My tutor appears so able that though Charles lived in the next street, it must be my own fault if I am not a complete rogue before I turn the corner.
So now I think Sir Oliver will be convinced. You are partial, probably, and would have prepared Charles for the other plot.
No, upon my word, Sir Peter.
Well, go bring me the snake, and I will hear what he has to say presently. I see Maria and want to speak with her. I should be glad to be convinced by my suspicions of Lady Teasel and Charles were unjust. I have never yet opened my mind on the subject to my friend Joseph. I am determined I will do it. He will give me his opinion sincerely. So, child, has Mr. Surface returned with you?
No, sir, he was engaged.
Well, Maria, do you not reflect the more you converse with that amiable young man, what return his partiality for you deserves?
Indeed, Sir Peter, your frequent importunity on this subject distress me extremely. You compel me to declare that I know no man who has ever paid me a particular attention whom I would not prefer to Mr. Surface.
So, here's perversiveness. No, Maria, it's Charles only whom you would prefer. It's evident his vices, and follies have won your heart.
This is unkind, sir. You know I have obeyed you in neither seeing nor corresponding with him. I have heard enough to convince me that he is unworthy my regard. Yet I cannot think it culpable if, while my understanding severely condemns his vices, my heart suggests some pity for his distresses.
Well, pity him as much as you please, but give your heart and hand to the worthier object.
Never to his brother.
Go perverse and obstinate, but take care, madam. You have never yet known what the authority of a guardian is. Don't compel me to inform you of it.
I can only say you shall not have just reason. It's true, by my father's will, I am for a short period bound to regard you as his substitute, but must cease to think you so when you would compel me to be miserable.
Was ever a man so crossed as I am? Everything conspiring to fret me. I had not been involved in matrimony a fortnight before her father, a hale and hearty man, died on purpose, I believe, for the pleasure of plaguing me with the care of his daughter. But here comes my helpmate. She appears in great humor. How happy I should be if I could tease her into loving me, though but a little.
Lord Sir Peter, I hope you haven't been quarreling with Maria. It is not using me well to be ill-humored when I'm not by.
Ah, Lady Teasel, you might have the power to make me good humored at all times.
I'm sure I wish I had, for I want you to be in a charming, sweet temper at this moment. Do be good humored now and let me have 200 pounds, will you?
200 pounds? What? And I to be in the good humor without paying for it? But speak to me thus, and I'll, in faith, there's nothing I could refuse you. You shall have it. But steal me a bond for the repayment.
Oh no, my knot of hand will do as well.
And you shall no longer reproach me with not giving you an independent settlement. I mean, shortly to surprise you, but I shall. We always live thus, eh?
If you please. I'm sure I don't care how soon we leave off quarreling, provided you will own you were tired first.
Well, then let our future contest be who shall be most obliging.
I assure you, Sir Peter, good nature becomes you. You look now as you did before we were married, when you used to walk with me under the elms and tell me stories of what a gallant you were in your youth and chuck me under the chin. You would and ask me if I thought I could love an old fellow who would deny me nothing, didn't you?
Yes, and you were as kind and attentive.
Ah, so I was, and would always take your part when my acquaintance used to abuse you and turn you into ridicule.
Indeed.
And when my cousin Sophie has called you a stiff, peevish old bachelor and laughed at me for thinking you of marrying one who might be my father, I've always defended you and said I didn't think you so ugly by any means, and I dared say you would make a very good sort of a husband.
And and you prophesied right, and we shall certainly now be the happiest couple.
And never differ again?
No, never. Though at the same time, indeed, my dear Lady Teasel, you must watch your temper very narrowly. For in all our little quarrels, my dear, if you recollect, my love, you always began first.
I beg your pardon, my dear Sir Peter. Indeed, you always gave the provocation.
Now, see, my angel, take care. Contradicting isn't the way to keep friends.
Then don't you begin it, my love?
There now, you're going on. You don't perceive my life that you are just doing the very thing which you know always makes me angry.
No, you know, if you will be angry without any reason, my dear.
There now, you want to quarrel again?
No, I'm sure I don't, but if you will be so peevish.
There now, who begins first?
Why, you, to be sure. I said nothing, but there's no bearing your temper.
No, madam, the fault's in your own temper.
You are just what my cousin Sophie said you would be.
Your cousin Sophie is a forward, impertinent gypsy.
You are a great bear, I'm sure, to abuse my relations.
Now may all the plagues of marriage be doubled on me if ever I try to be friends with you anymore.
So much the better.
No, madam, it's evident you never cared a pin for me, and I was a madman to marry you, a pert, rural coquette that had refused half the honest squares in the neighborhood.
And I'm sure I was a fool to marry you, an old dangling bachelor who was single at 50 only because he never could meet with anyone who would have him.
Aye, madam, but you were pleased enough to listen to me. You never had such an offer before.
No? Didn't I refuse Sir Tivy Terrier, who everybody said would have been a better match for his estate is just as good as yours, and he has broke his neck since we are married.
I have done with you, madam. You are an unfeeling, ungrateful, but there's an end of everything. I believe you capable of anything that's bad. Yes, madam. I now believe that the reports relative to you and Charles, madam. Yes, madam. You and Charles, you are not without grounds.
Take care, Sir Peter. You had better not insinuate any such thing. I'll not be suspected without cause, I promise you.
Very well, madam. Very well. A separate maintenance as soon as you please. Yes, madam. Or a divorce. I'll make an example of myself for the benefit of all old bachelors. Let us separate, madam.
Agreed, agreed. And now, my dear Sir Peter, we are of a mind once more. We may be the happiest couple and never differ again, you know. Haha. Well, you are going to be in a passion, I see, and I shall only interrupt you. So, bye bye.
Plagues and tortures. Can't I make her angry neither? Oh, I am the miserablest fellow. But I am not bear her presuming to keep her temper. No, she may break my heart, but she shall keep her temper.
Scene 2, Charles Surface house, and a trip Moses and Sir Oliver Surface.
Here, Master Moses, if you will stay a moment, I will try whether what is the gentleman's name.
Mr. Moses, what is my name?
Mr. Premium. Premium, very well.
To judge by the servants, one wouldn't believe the master was ruined. But what? Sure, this was my brother's house?
Yes, sir. Mr. Charles brought it of Mr. Joseph with the furniture, pictures, etc., just as the old gentleman loved it. Sir Peter thought it a piece of extravagance in him.
In my mind, the other's economy selling it to him was more reprehensible by half.
My master says you must pay, gentlemen. He has company and can't speak with you yet.
If he knew who it was wanted to see him, perhaps he wouldn't have sent such a message.
Yes, sir. He knows you are here. I didn't forget little Premium. No.
Very well. And I pray, sir, what may be your name?
Sir, my name is Tripp, at your service.
Well then, Mr. Tripp, you have a pleasant sort of a place here, I guess.
Why, yes. Here are 3 or 4 of us pass our time agreeably enough, but then our wages are sometimes a little in arrear and not very great either, but £50 a year, and find our own bags and books.
Bags and bouquets, halters and bastinadoes.
But I propose, Moses, have you been able to get me that little bill discounted?
Wants to raise money, mercy on me, has his distresses too, I warrant, like a lord, and affects creditors and duns.
'Twas not to be done, indeed, Mr. Tripp.
Good lad, you surprise me. My friend Brush has endorsed it, and I thought when he put his name at the back of a bill, it was as good as cash.
No, shouldn't to do.
A small sum, but £20. Harky, Moses, do you think you could get it by way of annuity?
An annuity, huh? A footman raised money by way of annuity. Well done, luxury god.
Well, but you must insure your place.
Oh, with all my heart. I will insure my place and my life too, if you please.
It's more than I would your neck. But is there nothing you could deposit?
Why, nothing capital of my master's wardrobe has dropped lately, but I could give you a mortgage on some of his winter clothes with equity of redemption before November. Or you shall have the reversion of the French velvet or a poster of it on the blue and silver. These, I should think, Moses with a few pair of point ruffles as a collateral security. Hey, my little fellow,
Well, well,
a guard, I heard the bell. I believe, gentlemen, I can now introduce you. Don't forget the annuity, little Moses. This way, gentlemen. Ensure my place, you know.
If the man be a shadow of the master, this is a temple of dissipation indeed. Scene 3. Charles Surface, careless, etc., at a table with wine, etc.
For heaven, it is true, there is the great degeneracy of the age. Many of your acquaintance have taste, spirit, and politeness, but plague on it, they won't drink.
It is so indeed, Charles. They give in to all the substantial luxuries of the table and abstain from nothing but wine and wit.
Oh, certainly society suffers by it intolerably. For now, instead of the social spirit of raillery that used to mandle over a glass of bright burgundy, their conversation has become just like the spa water they drink, which has all the pertness and flauntulence of champagne without its spirit of flavor.
But what are they to do who love play better than wine?
True, there is Harry diets himself for gaming and is now under a hazard regimen.
Then he will have the worst of it. What? You wouldn't train a horse for the course by keeping him from corn. From my part, a guard, I am now never so successful as when I'm a little Murray. Let me throw a bottle of champagne and I never lose. At least I never feel my losses, which is exactly the same thing.
That I believe.
And then what man can pretend to be? To be a believer in love, who is an abjurer of wine. It is the test by which the lover knows his own heart. Fill a dozen bumpers to a dozen beauties, and she that floats atop in the maid that was bewitched you.
Now then, Charles, be honest and give us your real favorite.
Why, I here withheld her only in compassion to you. If I toast her, you must give a round of her peers, which is impossible on earth.
Oh, then we will find some canonized vestals or heathen goddesses that will do, I warrant.
Here then, bumpers you rose. Bumpers, Maria, Maria.
Maria?
Maria.
Oh, damn the surname. It is too formal to be registered in the love's calendar. But now, Sir Toby, beware. We must have beauty superlative.
Nay, never study, said Toby. We will stand to the toast, though your mistress should want an eye. And you know, you have a song will use you.
Oh God, so I
A
have.
God, so I have, and I will give him the song instead of the lady.
Here's to the maiden of bashful 15, here's to the widow of 50, here's to the flaunting extravagant queen, and here is to the housewife that's thrifty. Let the toast pass, drink to the last. I'll warrant he'll prove an excuse for the glass. Here's to the charmer whose dimples we prize. Now to the maid who is known, sir. Here's to the girl with a pair of blue eyes, and here's to the nymph with but one, sir. Let the toast pass. Here's to the maid with a bosom of snow, and now to her that's brown as a berry. Here's to the wife with a face full of woe, and now to the girl that is merry. Let the toast pass, for let them be clumsy or let them be slim, young or ancient, I care not a feather. So fill a pint bumper quite up to the brim, and let us even toast them together. Let the toast pass.
Bravo, bravo. Gentlemen, you must excuse me a little. Careless, take the chair, will you?
Nay, Prithvi. Charles, what now? This is one of your peerless beauties, I suppose, has dropped in by chance?
No, Faith. To tell you the truth, it is a Jew and a broker who are come by appointment.
Oh, charmless. Let's have the joy.
And the broker too, by all means.
Yes, yes, the Jew and the broker.
God, with all my heart, Trip, bid the gentleman walk in. Though there is one of them a stranger, I can tell you.
Charles, let us give them some generous burgundy, and perhaps they will grow conscientious.
Oh, hand them no. Wine does but draw forth a man's natural qualities, and to make them drink would only
Moses walk.
so honest Moses walk in. Pray, Mr. Premium, that's the gentleman's name. Isn't it Moses?
Yes, sir.
Set chairs. Trip, sit down. Mr. Premium, glasses. Trip, sit down. Moses, come. Mr. Premium, I'll give you a sentiment. Here, success to a sherry. Moses, fill the gentleman a bumper.
Success to Ashery.
Right, Moses. Ashri is prudence and industry, and deserves to succeed.
Then here is all the success it deserves.
No, that won't do. Mr. Premium, you have demurred at the toast and must drink it in a pint bumper.
A pint bumper at least.
Oh, pray, sir, consider Mr. Premium is a gentleman.
And therefore loves good wine.
Give Moses a quarter glass. This is mutiny and a high contempt for the chair.
Here, now for each, I will see justice done to the last drop of my bottle.
Nay, pray, gentlemen, I did not expect this usage.
No, hang it, you shan't. Mr. Premium is a stranger.
Odd. I wish I was well out of their company.
Plague on them. Then, if they don't drink, we will not sit down with them. Come, Harry. The dice are in the next room. Charles, you will join us when you have finished your business with these gentlemen.
I will. Careless.
Well,
Perhaps I may want you.
oh, you know, I'm always ready. Word, not, or bond. It's all the same to me.
Sir, this is Mr. Premium, a gentleman of the strictest honor and secrecy, and always performs what he undertakes. Mr. Premium, this is.
Sure, have done. Sir, my friend Moses is a very honest fellow, but a little slow at expression. He'll be an hour giving us our titles. Mr. Premium, the plain state of the matter matter is that you have to.
I'm an extravagant young fellow who wants to borrow money. I take to be a prudent old fellow who has got money to lend. I'm blockhead enough to give 50% sooner than not have it. And you, I presume, are rogue enough to take 100 if you can get it. Now, sir, you see we are acquainted at once and may proceed to business without further ceremony. Exceeding frank, upon my word. I see, sir, you are not a man of many compliments.
Oh, no, sir. Plain dealing in business, I always think best.
Sir, I like you the better for it. However, you are mistaken in one thing. I've no money to lend, but I believe I could procure some of a friend. But then he's an unconscionable dog, isn't he, Moses?
But you can't help that.
And must sell stock to accommodate you, mustn't he, Moses?
Yes, indeed. You know, I always speak the truth and scorn to tell a lie.
Right. People that speak the truth generally do. But these are trifles, Mr. Premium. What? I know money isn't to be brought without paying for it.
Well, but what security could you give? You have no land, I suppose.
Not a mole, hell, not a twig. But what is in Beauport's? Out of the window?
Nor any stock, I presume.
Nothing but livestock. And that's only a few pointers and ponies. But pray, Mr. Premium, are you acquainted at all with any of my connections?
Why, to say truth, I am.
Then you must know that I have a devilish rich uncle in the East Indies, Sir Oliver Surface, from whom I have the greatest expectations.
That you have a wealthy uncle, I have heard, but how your expectations will turn out is more, I believe, than you can tell.
Oh no, there can be no doubt. They tell me I am a prodigious favorite and that he talks of leaving me everything.
Indeed, this is the first I've heard on it.
Yes, it is just so. Moses knows. It is true. Don't you, Moses?
Oh, yes, I will swear to it.
Oh God, they'll persuade me presently I'm at Bengal.
Now I propose, Mr. Premium, if it is agreeable to you, a post obit on Sir Oliver's life, though at the same time old fellow has been so liberal to me that I give you my word I should be very sorry to hear that anything has happened to him.
Not more than I should, I assure you. But the bond you mention happens to be just the worst security you could offer me, for I might live to 100 and never recover the principal.
Oh, yes, you would. The moment Sir Oliver dies, you know you would come on me for the money.
Then I believe I should be the most unwelcome dun you ever had in your life.
What? I suppose you are afraid now that Sir Oliver is too good a life.
No, indeed, I'm not. Though I have heard he is as hale and healthy as any man of his years in Christendom.
There again you are misinformed. No, the climate has hurt him considerably. Poor Uncle Oliver suffers. Yes, he breaks apace, I'm told, and so much altered lately that his nearest relations don't know him.
No? So much altered lately that his nearest relations don't know him. That's droll, a god.
Yes. You are. Haha. You know that man's your chance.
But I'm told Sir Oliver is coming over. Nay, some say he's actually arrived.
Sure. Sure, I must know better than you whether he is come or not. No, no, rely on it. He is at this moment at Calcutta. Isn't he, Moses?
Yes, certainly.
Very true, as you say. You must know better than I, though I have it from pretty good authority. Haven't I, Moses?
Yes, most undoubted.
But, sir, as I understand, you want a few hundreds immediately. Is there nothing you could dispose of?
How do you mean?
For instance, now I have heard that your father left behind him a great quantity of massy old plate.
Oh Lord, that's gone long ago. Moses can tell you now how better than I can.
Good luck, all the family race cups and corporation bowls. Then it was also supposed that his library was one of the most valuable and complete.
Yes, yes, so it was. Vastly too much so for a private gentleman. For my part, I was always a communicative disposition, so I thought it a shame to keep so much knowledge to myself.
Mercy upon me, learning that had run in the family like an heirloom. Pray, what have become of the books?
You must inquire of the auctioneer, Master Premium, for I don't believe even Moses can direct you.
I never meddle with books.
So nothing of the family property left, I suppose?
Not much, indeed, unless you have a mind to the family pictures. I have got a room full of ancestors above, and if you have a taste for paintings, a god, you shall have them a bargain.
Hey, what the devil? Sure, you wouldn't sell your forefathers, would you?
Every, every man of them to be the best bidder.
What? Your great uncles and aunts?
Hey, and my great grandfathers and grandmothers too.
No, I give him up. What the plague? Have you no bowels for your own kindred? Odds life, do you take me for Shylock in the play that you would raise money off me on your own flesh and blood?
Nay, my little broker, don't be angry. What need you care if you have your money's worth?
Well, I'll be the purchaser. I think I can dispose of the family canvas. Oh, I'll never forgive him this, never.